me. This is the SlimNation One-On-Ones Experience coming to you live here. I just wanted to come on here for a few minutes and tell you a story that I had, an experience I had when I was in college way back in 1972, during that era when I attended the Virginia Union University. And what was and we all know that Lieutenant Doug Wilder, Lieutenant Governor, well, Governor Doug Wilder was the first African American governor in Virginia and the country at that time. And what a historic moment that was. But before he was governor, he was friends with my father, who was attorney here in Portsmouth, Virginia, and he was a substitute judge as well. But they were in an organization together that that was here organized. That was here in let's see, Portsmouth, Virginia, or down in this area where was now called Hampton Roads, but then it was called Tidewater, and he has always been in Richmond. But they were a part of, I think it was the Guardsmen, which was a national organization of black professional men, and they were in that group together. So they knew each other through that and through the Bar Association, Virginia Old Dominion Bar Association and the Virginia Bar Association. And plus, Doug Weiler had attended, he was a graduate of Virginia Union as well as my father was. So when I was there, before I got there, he told me, gave me several names of people that he knew. Some of them were his fraternity brothers. I believe Doug Weiler was not his fraternity brothers. He was a Omega, and my dad was a Kappa. But anyway, he gave me several names of friends that he knew professionally and socially that were in his fraternity or, uh, in certain positions that if I needed some help, to call them and ask them for help. And Doug Waller was one of them. Now, I didn't need the help, but the girl I was going with at the time when I was at Union, the name was Mary, and we ended up getting married and having a child. But anyway, when we were there matriculating, Mary had a roommate of hers that was accused of shoplifting albums in a record store. And she said she didn't do it. I think she really did. She just happened to get caught. But anyway, she was innocent. None the worse, she was innocent until proven guilty. So when she needed representation, I said, well, I know this attorney named Doug Waller here in Richmond, so maybe I can talk to him and he will see you and handle your case. So I went over to his office, and it was the only time I went to him for anything, even though I would see him occasionally, and told him that my father had given me his number and said if I needed some help to come to him. And he was very receptive, thinking it was me that was in trouble. But I said, no, a friend of mine, a fellow student at Virginia Union, has been accused of shoplifting, and she needs some representation. So, you know, he just said, okay, look, send her over here and I'll have a conversation with her and see where we are. So I went back and told her, and she went over to talk to him, and he ended up getting her some different representation because that wasn't a field that he really worked in. He had been a attorney for a long time, and he really handled uh, larger cases than a shoplifting case. And he told her that she probably couldn't afford him, and she respected that he was out front saying that you probably can't afford me because I'm pretty expensive for what I do, but I can refer you to someone that can help you. And she respected that, and he did, and she got help, and she got off on that charge. And so that's just one of the opportunities that I had, not knowing that years later that Doug Weiler will become the first African American governor of the state of Virginia and one of the first in the country to serve as governor of a state. So you never know, but it's always good to have connections with people, and my dad had them. And along a lot of times I resisted it because I wanted to do things on my own. But I remember him telling me, if you have connections, use them, because you never know when later on you might be in a position to help somebody else or help that particular person that helped you. So just wanted to tell that story of my experience with Doug Weiler early on in his career before he became the governor of Virginia. But and also he was a Unionite, a Union grad. So you know, you know, and so was my dad. So that was the first connection there. But anyway, thanks for listening, and you know, just take advantage of whatever kind of connections that you might have, or you can uh, pass on to someone else that might help someone. There's nothing wrong with taking help when you need it, especially if you are in college, you're on the college level, or you're just starting out and you don't know a lot of people. It always helps to know that, and not to take advantage of it or brag about who you know and all this. It's just being in the right place and being taking advantage of opportunity that might later down the road give you the opportunity to do the same thing for someone else. All right, that's it. And I thank you. And we will move on. However, we move on here. Whew. Don't tell me we're still live. Well,